462, let's talk how this week is going to lay out for us. And I've had lots of people talk about going to be gone next week, so we'll kind of talk through that as well. Today we're going to do 6-2 in the book, and if history repeats itself from the day, you'll either get it done or very, very close to getting it done in class. You do need to bring your book tomorrow so that we can correct it. But then Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to do a 6-3 worksheet. Thursday is going to be a 6-4 worksheet, and Friday is an online of everything that we've learned. We're learning 4 different transformations. We already learned translation, and we'll learn the other 3 this week, and then we're going to put it all together on Friday. Next week, we are going to do a project instead of like a formal assessment. I will explain the project to you on Monday. You will have all day Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday in class to work, and it's due at the end of the day on Wednesday. Thursday, I have an in-class activity planned out for us, and then you guys have a 4-day weekend. Well, actually, we all have a 4-day weekend, which is kind of nice. Okay, so just kind of know where you're at. Some of you, chapter 5 and maybe your 3-7-3-8 didn't go exactly how you wanted, so you want to improve your score. Here's your chance because you have a project to be able to show your work and not a formal assessment. Cool? All right, 462, they talk about reflections. I'm going to actually read this little paragraph right here first. Reflection's a mirror image of the original. It's the result of a transformation over a line called the line of reflection. For us, the lines of reflection are going to be the x-axis or the y-axis. So it's super important that you remember which one's which. Remember, your x-axis runs horizontally, your y-axis runs vertically. In a reflection, each point of the pre-image, that's the original, and the image, the new one, are the same distance from that line or from that axis. So in a reflection, the image is congruent to the pre-image. Congruent means same size, same shape. Just like I told you last week, if you start with a square and you end up with a triangle, you know something's not right. Okay? Here's the deal. We mess up the x and y coordinates. But look, they label them for you. They label the x and y axes. Don't screw these up. So they're telling us, here's your original triangle right here. And we're going to reflect over the x-axis. So what that means is whatever's above the x-axis is now going to end up below the x-axis. And whatever was below the x-axis is going to end up above. So when we're talking about those points, this -4, 1 never shifted left or right. It went from above to below. So they go on to explain to us, if you go over the x-axis, it actually changes your y-coordinate. It changes the height or the vertical placement. Over the x changes the y. Well, if we go over the y, what started on the left now reflects to the right. Up and down didn't change, but the left and right did. So as they explain to us, you go over the y, the x actually changes. So whatever axis you go over, the opposite letter changes. You go over the x, the y coordinate changes. Go over the y, the x coordinate changes. But they should be the same shape. 463, middle of the page. Got it, A. Triangle PQR has the following vertices. Graph the figure and its reflection over the y-axis. Then find the coordinates of the reflected image. Baby steps. Everybody go and plot those 3 points and label them. Plot those 3 points and label them on the graph on the right. Everybody's PQR look like mine? Make sure you label your points. We start flipping things around. Tomorrow we're going to spin them. They start changing letters. All right, we're going over the y-axis. The y-axis runs vertically. So PQR is on the right, and it's going to reflect over to be on the left. So what you need to ask yourself is, okay, from that y-axis, how far away is P? 1 on the right. So when I reflect it, it's going to end up 1 on the left. Don't change its height. Don't change its height, but what should I label it? P prime with that tick mark. Q, how far to the right is it? 3, so it really needs to graph then 3 to the left and gets labeled Q prime. How far away is R? 4 becomes R prime. Question, do they look or appear congruent? Absolutely. Okay. What are the coordinates of P prime? Negative 1, 5. I like it. Q prime. Negative 3, 7. Good work. R prime. Say it again. Excellent job. Negative 4, negative 1. Because we went over the y-axis, which letter changed? X. Okay? It was 1, 5, now it's negative 1, 5. It was 3, 7, now it's negative 3, 7. The opposite letter changes. All right, flip to page 464. On your own, start to finish, do this number 1, and then I'm going to check it. Read carefully. Read carefully. Read carefully of what axis you're going over. Who can tell me where A prime is? Gatlin? Positive 5, right? Negative 1? Should be positive 5, negative 1. B prime is 1, negative 2. And C prime is 6, negative 2. Nicely done. Nicely done. I'm just going to throw this out there. If you reflect it and it doesn't wind up on the graph, should you be kind of worried? Most likely they're not going to give you one. If Ms. Hoff's writing the worksheet, it could happen. But the book isn't going to give you one that doesn't graph on that graph, correct? So just something to think about. Could you ever do this without a graph? What if I gave you F as negative 4, 7? And I want you to reflect over the y-axis. Without a graph, if I go over the y-axis, F prime is going to be what? Positive 4, 7. Y-axis actually changes the x coordinate. It changes the opposite letter. Do you want me to take more of your time, or you want me to leave you alone and let you work? Leave you alone? Quick before I give you your homework, glance over at 465. Look at problems 1, 3, and 4. What am I going to caution you on? The scales go by 2. Just pay attention to that. Your scale goes by 2. All right, your homework. 1 through 8, 12 through 21. 1 through 8, 12 through 21. I'm going to let you work a little while, and then I'll start putting answers up slowly as I see people are getting through it, okay? If you need something, please ask. Please ask.